Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Can you hear? Microphone here. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Jen is
Dr.
recording today too.
Yeah, so I don't know why the room of Prabhupada is closed. So I'm teaching from the library.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So how can you hear everyone? Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Okay, very good. So anyone would like to sing something? It's up to you, otherwise I will.
Okay, so last time, what chapter we started?
I'm talking about a song, a Vaishnav song
Oh,
before we start.
okay, let's, where's Prabhu?
Minutes
We'll
up to
do,
you.
okay. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari.
Jaya
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya
Radha
Madhava
Madhava Kunja
Kunja
Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giridharadhari
Jaya
Jaya
Gopi
Gopi
Janavallabha
Janavallabha
Girivaradhari
Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana
Yashodanandana
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana
Janaranjana
Yamunatira Banachari
Yamunatira
Yamunatira
Vanasahari
Yamunatira Banachari
Yamunatira
Vanachari
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Jai 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya
Jai
Jaya Prabhupada,
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 Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev,
Gurudev, Jaya
Gurudev,
Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Gurudev.
Gurudev.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Yeah, perhaps let's, uh, you know,
Okay.
not right away. Thank you so much for singing. Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda Madhav ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. Shri Gonitai ki jai. Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Sadhu Sangha ki jai. Today in France, it's also lots of appearance and disappearance. Huh? I don't know if it's
Yeah.
also the same for you. There is Sita Thakurani. Who was Sita Thakurani? Do you remember? Sita Devi also.
Yes, I saw a lady's name too.
Yeah, Sita Devi. Who is Sita Devi?
Advaitacharya's wife.
She's the wife of.
Advaita Acharya.
Yeah, actually, that her name for her is Sita Thakurani.
Sita Thakurani here.
And Sita Devi is the consort of Lord Rama. So it's very interesting in the same day. So they're Shakti Tattva, of course. Okay. So let's sing this Krishna Lilastava. Sava Shastra Di Viyu Sava Vedika Satphalam Sava Siddhant Ratnadiya Sava Loke Kadrik Padam. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O nectar churned from the ocean of all the Vedic scriptures, O most prominent, transcendental fruit of all the Vedas, O you who are enriched with the jewels of all spiritual philosophical conclusions, O you who grant spiritual vision to all the people of the world.
Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu Kali Dvanto Ditaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita. O life of all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master Srimad Bhagavatam. You are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Shri Krishna.
Yeah.
Paramananda Prataya Prema Vakshi Aksarayate Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya Shri Krishna Namastume. I bow down to you who are supremely blissful to read. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Shri Krishna himself. Hare Krishna.
I don't have the book.
Madeka Bandhu Matsangin Madguru Manmahadana Manishtaraka Madbhagya Mad Ananda Namastute. My only friend, my constant companion, my spiritual master, my great wealth, my savior, my good fortune, my source of ecstasy, I bow down to you. Asadutas. Go ahead, Mataji.
Asadu sadhu tadayani nati nisutta kartava anavancha kadachin mam prema kantiyos supra. Okay, O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly, exalter of the most fallen, please never leave me alone. Never leave me, always appear in my heart. and my voice with pure love. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Lila Stava Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Shri Sanatana Goswami. Yeah. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate
Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Agyanti Mirandasya Ganandana Shlakaya Chakshuritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Darati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sam Jivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya Devam
Chaitanya
Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sa
Avitam Cha
He Krishna Karuna Sindhu
Sindhu
Dinabando Jagadpate Gopesh
Gopesha
Gopikatam
Kanta
Radhakanto Namostute
Namaste
Saptakam
Saptaka
Sonagorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Yeah, so back into the Purusha Shukta. So in essence, what is the Purusha Shukta? It sounds very technical, Purush Shukta. If someone asks you out of the blue, what would you say?
Purush is a man, like male.
Yeah.
What is
Here
Sukha?
for the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So, can you hear Moshe Prabhu?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
No, it's not audible. I mean, for me, it's not audible.
Yeah, because I am on earphone.
No, I cannot hear you, Prabhu.
We can hear him.
Oh, you can hear him. Okay, so you're gonna have to
So he
re-amplify
said
his words.
he can hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah, but I cannot hear him.
Hare Krishna, now is it okay?
Okay, so
With the volume.
any clue for anyone
Okay.
to share what is Purusha Shukta?
Okay, Purusha Sukha, it describes the divine cosmic being known as Purusha, and Purusha is only Lord, right? He's the only one that's Purush, from whom universe and all living beings originate.
Is it the prayer offered to Shirodakasha Vishnu or Garbhodakasha Vishnu?
Usually it's Garbhodakashayi Vishnu.
Garbhodakasha Vishnu.
Yeah. There is a beautiful, at the end of the book of Gauranga Darshan, let me try to find it for you. It's page 208 on the book. On the digital copy, let me try to find where it is. But for those who have the book, you can look it up. It's Page
What is
208,
that?
Purushukta confirmed. Let me see if I have it here.
Purushakta, okay.
You will see at
So,
the end of the book,
end
it's
of the book?
5.
Yes.
It's
So,
very helpful, I find
yeah.
it.
So, Prabhu, this Purusha Shukta, when are they really chanted? On what occasions?
So if you turn to that page, everything is crystal clear. It's a very common Sanskrit hymn.
Yeah, got it.
It's part of the Rig Veda. And you can see it's recited in Vedic rituals, ceremonies, when you install deities, of course, of Lord Vishnu or Narayan, fire ceremonies. There is an auspicious program. You recite Sanskrit literature. And of course, it's Shruti. It's coming from the original Ved, Rig Ved, Yajur Ved. And why is it called in this particular chapter of the Bhagavatam, Purushukta confirmed?
Shukta is confirmation?
Yeah. See, I told you long back, Purush Sukta means well spoken. It's something which is well spoken to the Purush, who is Hiranyagarbha. And there's a great similarity between this chapter, and the verse of the Purushukta. There's a great similarity. So that is why Vyasadeva, when he broke down, because Purushukta was there way before Bhagavatam. Purushukta is Shruti Shastra, coming from Shruti directly. So obviously, when Vyasadeva, he broke down the chapters and untitled them, he immediately that popped out to him. Yes, it's very similar. Let me call it Purusha Shukta confirmed. This is the point. So, and it proves, it's also one way to ascertain also that Bhagavatam is bona fide, it's bona fide praman. Why? Because it is corroborating Purush Shukta, which is in the original Ved. So then it ascertains the position of Bhagavatam as Smriti Shastra. Smriti means coming from the sages. This one is coming from Vyasadeva. If you read that page, it's quite revealing. It collates with references from the Shruti text. Vijayanath corroborates that point also. And next page, if you have the book under your eyes, you can see what Guru Darshan has done. He quotes all the verses and he will find the corresponding verse in that chapter of the Bhagavatam. So this is very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so do you have any recap? And we covered last time we already entered. I mean, we covered from verse 1 to 17.
Yeah,
And if you
1 to
look at your
17.
book, if you have the Guru Darshan's book,
Yeah.
what did we cover? I mean, in essence, we don't have to go all over again, but what did we discuss?
1 to 17. Brahma answers the 6 questions, right? The answers
Yeah,
to
you
the
have to
six.
speak a bit louder, Mataji, and Purnachandra Mataji.
I said, wasn't it Brahma was answering the 6th question of the Yacha, whatever?
Yes, Yasha, very good.
Yasha.
And where is that question, that set of questions, where is that located? Remember? Those questions of Narad?
Just 1 second.
That's in
252, huh?
chapter 5, text 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The 6th question. See, can you see my screen here?
Yat Shishtam, Yat Samstham, Param Yat Cha.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen or not?
No, we cannot see your screen.
Oh, you cannot see.
I,
Oh, okay. That's
I can see. I can see
What can you see on my screen?
Oh, yeah, now we can see.
the cause of all causes.
Okay.
2.5.
Very good. So we are on the same page. So see, 252, 6 questions. And we covered Yes Cha. Yacha. Remember, that's the key verse for all this section, the middle section of the second canto, basically. What is it composed of? Talking about this material nature, this universe.
Yeah.
And we covered, basically, we are here. Let's go down to the sixth chapter. We
Yeah.
covered here, see? Lord is both the material and the effective cause. There's different causes to the material universe. People oftentimes see, the materialists only see the immediate cause. They will say, oftentimes, they will not deny, yes, it is nature. But little do they see, just like Krishna says in the Gita, they see the necklace, but they don't see the thread, remember? So they don't understand that behind nature, there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here we learn that the Lord is both the material, yes, and also the effective cause. And it was a bit technical, but when you break it down, it's kind of okay. The limbs of the Lord, of Gabodakashaya Vishnu, provides the ingredients for the universe. In other words, nothing can happen without his presence. And then, just like we have a gross and a subtle body, he also has a subtle sense organ and gross sense organ. And these are going to give rise to different categories of things, like the sense objects, the tanmatra. We are attracted by the sense objects. And of course, the sense objects we discuss are extremely connected to the Pancha Mahabhut. Always remember this. If you want to take the exam with me, you should always remember this Yatha Shrishtama. That's the answer to another question of Narad. And remember the close correlation between the sense objects are here. We are attracted by sound, touch, form, and within the sense objects, you find the Pancha Mahabhut. Ether. You can only hear the sound because of ether. You can only touch things with your hands, with your feet. You can feel, oh, it's a cold floor. It's warm. It's a carpet. It's cold marble. You can ascertain just by the skin on your feet, the skin on your hand. Why? Because the element of air. And it proceeds from one to the next. The form. You have sensors, you can see the forms. Why? Because the fire element. If there would be no fire, no sun, you wouldn't be able to distinguish the forms. Like here, I can see on my table, there's a computer, there are books, there's a mic. I can distinguish the contour of the forms. Why? Because of the fire. The fire element is pervading the creation. So that enables me to distinguish the forms. Okay. And then the taste, that's one of the tanmatra, the sense objects. Taste. Why can you taste food? The 7 different tastes of food stuff. Because of water. Then the smell. So That's the final component. And the earth is the final product of all the previous elements. Within the earth, you find water, isn't it? You find fire, you find air, you find ether. So the final sense object is smell. Yeah. So that is why, back to the 6th chapter, right here, the Lord has senses, gross and subtle, and from those senses are going to come about the sense object. There's also, if you look at the book of Gauranga Darshan, he has done such a great job, this book. If you look at page 188, it's even extremely well researched. The Lord has desire. For those who have the book, does everyone have this book?
No.
The book
Yes,
of
I do.
I
So-
have it too.
and Moshe Prabhu perhaps, hopefully.
No, I don't have.
Yeah, so if you turn to page 188, see, he has done such a great job to facilitate us. This is teaching, and the purpose of teaching is to facilitate. It's not to complicate, you know. In this material world, whatever you do, especially in France, they don't facilitate you, they complicate. All the administrative government, they complicate things, you know. So we have to facilitate. Page 188, and the creation procedure. The Lord has desire, you know, it's why do we have desire? Because he has desire in the first place. And you can see the sound, the Vedic sound, you know, he understands Shabda Brahman. We know Shabda Brahman, Shabda Brahman. The evidence to access the Lord is sound vibration, Shabda Brahman, the Vedic sound, Om, the Mahavakya is called in Sanskrit. And when Brahma, what did he hear first after his austerity? He heard the flute. Then it transformed into the Gayatri, and then further down, the Om, the Mahavakya, then the Chatushloki of Bhagavatam. Then it expanded. Brahma told his son Narad, "You please expand it." He didn't do it. He delegated it to his disciples yesterday. So because if you want to access the Vedic sound, you need an ear, pairs of ears, which are gross sense organ, okay? Karna. And then the subtle sense organ, shrotra. Shrotra means to hear also. And you need devotees. The Lord is just initiates the desire, but is not going to do the nitty-gritty in the creation. Just like a CEO, oh, I want to do this project. He's going to meet with his man or his CEO, and then they're going to do the nitty-gritty. They're going to do the mechanics of that project. So the demigods are Vibhutimat Sattvat, they're other carrier of the Lord. 33 million. Where are they located? They are located in the Virat. And here we're talking about the dig devatas, and basically we discuss, well, let's go back to that chart. See? They are here, the devatas. Each and every one of our limbs, you blink your eyelids. That's the demigod behind. What is the demigod? In the Virat. You cannot blink your eyelids independently. No. It's adibut. The material creation is controlled by demigods. Ultimately, it's controlled by Krishna, we know, by Vishnu. But the nitty-gritty, the mechanics, the logistics are done by demigods. And here they are listed. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So the ear, Digdevatas, we know Surya, sun. You can only see with your eyes. Basically, the eyes are like a pair of glasses. And because of the sun, etc. The skin, Vayu, Ashwin Kumar, the breathing, Varun. So it breaks down. If you look at this page of Guranga Darshan 188, the Lord initiates the desire, then it's going to be down to the Virat. The Virat is conscious. Don't think the Virat is just imaginative. It's imaginative in terms of we don't relate to the Virat for us because we have the bigger picture. We know we don't even stop at Vishnu. Are we going to stop at Gabodeshai Vishnu? No. By the grace of Prabhupada, we have heard about the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vrindavan. But for those who don't have this big picture, it's a great help for them to understand. Yes, there is a personality, there's an external personality behind this material nature. The external display of material nature is the Virat, basically. So we should not diminish it. And when we want to understand the logistics, the nitty-gritty of this creation procedure, it's helpful. It's helpful. But obviously, we go through in the Bhagavatam, we appreciate it to some extent, to some degree. And gradually, we're going to come to the more intimate pastimes. We are still in the second canto, so we cannot go quicker than the music, you know. So, what else? So I just want you to understand the procedure. I mean, do you understand or not? At least to some extent.
Yes, Prabhu.
Huh? So don't be too much afraid or bewildered. Just consult the books. Bhagavatam, Guru Galashan has done a tremendous job. I'm trying to help you also. I'm trying to help myself. We're trying to help each other, basically. So, you know. So let's proceed. Unless you have questions, this is the right time to ask. So now we're going to discuss. And this is again, those sentences are quite great. The Lord acts as the effective cause of the universe by energizing the universe both from inside and outside. Everyone may be there, but unless the conscious is activated, who is the consciousness? Is Vasudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It energizes, it activates the Virat. Otherwise, the Virat is dead. Just like matter is dead. The demigods are dead unless the consciousness enters within the universe. You follow? This universe is dead. Just like our body is dead. Your car is dead on the parking lot. So it takes the Lord, Hiranyagarbha, to enter this universe and to infuse it with life, with energy. Otherwise, it's dead matter. You cannot get around that. Matter is dead. It will be always dead. It doesn't. It's just we discussed before Bhagavat Shakti Choditaha. The compacting energy is Maya. That's her job. She compacts things. Just like a boy or girl will compact clay objects with his little hands. I'm going to make a house out of clay. I'm going to make a tree. I'm going to make little human beings. He may mold the forms, but will you see a clay figure move on the table of the boy? No, it's dead. He assumes, you follow, in his little mind of a boy, he's thinking, oh, I'm going to make them move, and he makes them move with his little hands. You know, he imagines. So in the same way, Virat is like that. It's an imagination, but it helps. It helps to understand. And on top of that, it's animated by the Lord. But as soon as you remove the Lord from the equation, everything becomes morose. It doesn't exist anymore. So the Bhagavatam is meant to teach us that everything, whatever you want to, whichever way you want to break it down, you have to always put Krishna in it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. You may know the whole breakdown, the whole components, but unless you understand the Lord is behind everything, the material cause, the nimitta karan, it's called the effective cause. So it's always, Bhagavatam is there to always bring us to this supreme consciously being, subconscious being. And of course, for us, we are told that behind it all, there's the original personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now we enter something that we discussed in Sri Upanishad, tripad-vibhuti, tripad-vibhuti. So let's start from 18. So, amritasya abhayasya isha, just like ishavasyam idam sarvam, isha Upanishad. Martyam annam yat atyagat mahima esha tata brahman purushasya duratyayaha.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the controller of immortality and fearlessness, and he is transcendental to death and the furtive actions of the material world. O Narada, O Brahmana, it is therefore difficult to measure the glories of the Supreme Person.
Yeah. So have you read ahead all these verses?
Yeah, the purport is quite loaded.
Very long. And here, what are the universes compared to?
And the spiritual sky, this like a material sky and the spiritual sky, right?
Yeah, but Srila Prabhupada is, of course, it's a common example coming from Chaitanya
Oh, to the
Charitamrita.
mustard seed,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So have you
here,
seen the mustard? I mean, you are very good cooks. So have you seen the size of a mustard seed?
I know.
Can you imagine? This is not a planet in the analogy. It's a universe. Talking about the planet Earth. I mean, if already a universe is a mustard seed, where is Vancouver? Where is Paris? The universe is a mustard seed. What to speak of the planet Earth? What could it be like? See? And it goes, Srila Prabhupada, in which we are now living, the number of planets cannot be counted even within one mustard seed. How can we think of the sum total of all the universes? It will be like a bucket full of mustard seeds. And the whole compass of the material creation is called, that's those terms we have seen in the Shri Show. Remember? Ekapad-vibhuti. Ek, ek dotin. So 1/4, the whole gamut of the material creation is 1/4. So, in other words, if you add up all the mustard seeds and put them in a bucket, for instance, which is basically a gross example, huh? Because remember, the universes are like grapes. You have seen when you eat grapes, those grape, how do you call it? Les grains de raisin. The grape, the roundy, each grape is round, right? So just those, they are like universes. Prabhupada gives the example elsewhere. They are universes conglomerated, just like a grape. You have seen a branch of grapes. There's so many little tiny roundy grape. So each one of those would be like a universe, and they are lying on the ocean, Karanadakashai ocean. So all these grapes put together, or you could say there's mustard seeds, a different way to look at it, is ekapad. And the spiritual world is tripad, 1/4, 3/4, 1/4, 3/4, tripad-vibhuti.
Okay.
Uh,
But I didn't see the word Eka there. I saw Pada Vibhuti, but I don't think I saw the word Eka in there. Like Eka means one, right?
yeah, ek this is Hindi or Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Sri Shu, those terms are there. I don't know if you remember. Sri
I read
Upanishad.
it,
Here it
but I
says
thought
Pad
I read,
Vibhuti. Yeah,
yeah,
Prabhupada's in this verse.
he said
Tripad
Pada
Vibhuti,
Vibhuti.
Pad
Yeah.
Vibhuti. Yeah,
And
it's,
Tripad Vibhuti.
yeah, you could say Pad Vibhuti, Ekapad Vibhuti. The
Okay.
what to be retained here is 1/4, 3/4. That's what it is.
Okay.
So again, see, this Guranga Darshan is helping us so much. Can you see my screen? Again, he's
Yes.
breaking it down: birth, death, cycle, present, absent. He's giving the contrast. All these verses we're going to cover now, to 22, up to 22. Do we find birth and old age in Tripad, in the Vaikuntha world, in the Paravyo?
No,
No,
no, there is no birth, old age, and
exactly. And in the Gita,
so
13:8, Mrityu Shruti, it says what are the real faults, the dosh. The dosh means faults. Oh, Prabhu, I've got toothache. Oh my, I'm broke. These are not the real problems. Janamrityu, Jaravyadi, Dukkha, Anudarshanam, dosh. That's the real problems of life. Janmamrityu, Jaravyadi. We are afflicted by those four. And because we identified to those four pertaining to the body, we are aiming towards death. But actually, we don't die. But we are all constantly reminded you're going to die. Look at, especially in ISKCON now, you have seen people are dying left, right, and corner. Again, Paramanand Prabhu, a good friend of mine, left the body a few days ago. Day in, day out, it's Kadamba Kanamaj used to say it's going to be a decade of tears. It's going to be a full decade of tears. You will see everyone, because they are proper disciples are 70, 75, not 70, 75, 80, 85 plus. So that's going to be a decade of tears. We have seen left, right, and corner. So these are constant reminders, Bhagavatam is like that, very technical, very extremely all-encompassing, but always the same story to remind us it's pointless. Whatever you do, you are aiming towards that. Unless and until you understand I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul. Yes, there is spiritual world. Yes, it's absent there. So whatever we're going to see here in those four verses, people, there is some people, Grihamedi. You know the Grihamedi. What's the meaning of Grihamedi?
those who live in grihas, I mean, couples who their life is all about gratifying their senses are called griyamedi.
Yeah, we discussed right in the beginning of this canto. Remember? Let's find it together. Right in the beginning of this canto. Yes. 211, I mean 212. Shrota Vyadini Rajendra, Nrinam Santi Sahasrashaha, Apashyata Matmatatvam, Griyeshu Griya Medinam, Griyeshu Griya Medinam. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society. CNS, CBN News, the New York Times, have you seen the size of the New York Times on Sunday? How many trees have been killed from the New York Times? So it's all about news and this and that. So, and those persons living in Tripad, apra janam, no birth. See, the Lord's inclination is not inclined. He is inclined towards the spiritual world of the Lord. This energy is only for us, just like prison house. Do the free people out there are concerned by the... How many times a day do you think about the prisoners living in Canada? Is it your main occupation? Are you thinking of the prisoners in the prison of the Canada?
No.
No one gives a damn. In the same way, no one gives a damn about us from the spiritual perspective. No one gives a damn. They even forget about us. And we're making a big fuss. Yes, we're doing things in the prison, my little friend. We are in the prison house. We're not, no one is inclined towards the tripad-vibhuti. No one is inclined. Even the Lord is inclined towards the tripad-vibhuti. He's very caring, so that's why the three Vishnus are there. And Vyasadeva explains to us how it works. But at the end of the day, he's telling us, you guys are in the prison. Don't make a big fuss that you are in the prison. So we should be inclined towards, the Lord is inclined towards the tripad. We should be also inclined. What is the necessity to be inclined towards the prison? The nature of the souls, we know the tendency, don't we? Purusha Abhiman, we want to lord it over. Nothing new. What do they do there in the spiritual world? Devotional service. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam. Say, fear. Of course, we're always fearful. Bhayan Vitya Bini Vishitasa Syat Ishadapitasya Viparya Spritihi 11.237. We are fearful because Bhayan Vitya, we want to absorb ourselves in something which apparently is different from Krishna. That's the bottom line. We want to absorb ourselves in something which is apparently different from Krishna. That creates anusmriti. We forget our constitutional position. Bhayam, fear. There's no fear in the spiritual world. People don't even know what it is. Fear of what? There's nothing to be fearful of. Forgetfulness, of course, avidya, anusmriti. Whatever, remember, what is that verse in Vishnu Puran? Vishnu Shakti Parapukta Kshetragagya Tatapara Avidya Kama Samuganya Tritiya Shakti Reshyate. Vishnu Shakti Parapukta, everything is Vishnu Shakti, right? Then Vishnu Shakti Parapukta Kshetragya Kya Tatapara. The Kshetragya, the Jiv, is also para, superior energy. We are not inferior, we are superior. Avidya Kama Samganya, but because of avidya, ignorance, parasamgyanya, we become engrossed into fruitive activities. Tritiya Shakti Shati. Tritiya means the third energy. The third energy is Maya. And we are revolving into this Maya. Everything is resting on avidya, whatever we do. And not present in the spiritual world, it's not present, this forgetfulness. Why? Because of vidya, coming from paravidya. What is the topmost vidya? Nigama kalpatalov galitam phalam. See? It was not open there. Huh? Vishnu Chapu.
Yeah, no,
It's closed.
Prabhupada was sleeping. I just went out to wake up Prabhupada.
Oh, I see. Anyway, I'm teaching from here, but
Okay.
usually it's open.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
Prabhupada was sleeping.
Okay, you wanted him to sleep longer. I see. So the souls, And we could say, oh, so many souls, but no, we are in lesser number in the prison. What is the degree of prisoners compared to the free citizens out there in Canada or in France? It's innumerable. Sandini, Satchitananda Vigraha, Sandini, Samvit, Ladini. So we know this material world is a manifestation of the Sandini Shakti. Sandini means Sat, eternity, 1/4. And the spiritual world is also a manifestation of Sandini, but much bigger. Okay, so let's break down now. Are you still there?
You're talking to us, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Because okay.
There's so much to process, so we are listening.
No, I mean, this is very interesting. See, if you take it step by step, it's like if you walk, you're learning how to walk. What you do is go step by step, and after some time, you become a sure. Oh, yeah, you feel confident. Yes, I can walk 5 meters. I can walk 10 meters, and gradually, oh yes, I can start running even. So it is the same way in Bhagavatam. You will see some sections are tough, some sections are flowing like nectar. We have to understand if yesterday put it there, there's a reason. So Vishwanath is quoting Padma Puran. See, the spiritual worlds are unlimited in number. Shuddha Sattva. What is the difference between Sattvagun and Shuddha Sattva?
Shuddha Sattva is pure goodness.
Yeah. Now, sometimes devotees are... Yes, sorry, Mataji.
That's transcendental.
Yeah. Sometimes devotees are under the impression, oh, okay, I understand. Now we are mixed, 14.5 and Gita. This material energy is comprised of Rajagun, Sattvagun, Tamagun. And they fight. Those gunas even fight among themselves. You know that? I want to predominate. According to different times of the day, morning, we wake up, you are a lot of tamagun. But if it is early, you take a shower, then you feel sattvagun. This is a good time of the day for spiritual activities. But we should not conclude that pure goodness is the removal of tamagun and rajagun. Did you conclude like this? You may say, well, I understand what is pure goodness. Just like you have 100, a figure 100, and let's say, 1/3 of 100 is 33.33. So, okay, so if I remove the nasty portion of the modes, the tamagun part, the rajagun part, then I'm going to be left with pure goodness. Does it work like this?
No.
So please explain.
See, the mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance are still under the material energy.
Exactly.
And Shuddha Sattva, it's beyond material energy.
Exactly. That's a very good point. Yeah. It's not the same constitution. It's not by removing 2/3 Rajagun and Tamagun, then you're going to be left with Sattvagun. You're going to be left with Sattvagun, but still with a proclivity to again mix. See, it's very simple. Look at yourself. Look at me. Look at you. Look at everyone else. Look at you. Certain time of the day, you are in the mode of goodness. Definitely. We cannot deny.
Especially early morning.
Yes, but look at the unfolding of the day. What's going to happen? You have seen with yourself many times. Every day is the same story. The other gunas will catch up with you, isn't it? And then you see yourself, your mode of goodness has become diluted with other modes. So whereas, have you seen Srila Prabhupada? Have you seen Jananivas Prabhu? I've been working on a daily basis with Jananivas Prabhu for not years, but for months. And I could see he's never afflicted by other modes. Never, never, never. I ask anyone working with Jananivas Prabhu. What to speak of Srila Prabhupada? What to speak of Narottam Das Thakur? You understand? They don't, the modes do not catch up with them during their day. So what does it mean? This is Shuddha Sattva. They have been endowed with Ladini Shakti. They are into by the grace of their Sadguru, by the grace of Srimati Radharani, they have received some drops of Ladini Shakti. There's a verse. I'll show you. You should know that verse very well. Vishnu Puran. Let me try to bring that up. So you have a debate. Do you have a debate on your computer?
Yes.
So always say this is the beauty of all these great samshraya, all these great tools have been given to us to understand deeper. We should not neglect. See, we have been given so much nectar. This is the verse. Ladini sandini samvit, twayeka sava samshraye, ladatapakuri mishra, twayino gunavajite. Very important verse. It's coming from Vishnu Puran. See, we know the spiritual energy. It's composed of Ladini, right? Srimati Radharani, pleasure-giving potency, Sandini, Sat, eternity, Samvit, right? The knowledge, Sat, Chit, Anand. Twayika, Ek, in Vishnu, in you. Who's speaking that verse? This is Vishnu Puran, this is Parashamuni, the father of yesterday. Ek, Savasamshaya. In you, my Lord. All these three are one. It's called Sit Shakti, Swarup Shakti. And why? Because you are Savasamshaya. You are the shelter of all the energies. See? So it says Shakti, Shakti Matayo Abeda. All the energies take shelter of the Shaktiman, the possessor. Lada. But the problem, that's talking about us now. Lada Tapakori Mishra. This Lada, Prahlad means Alad. He has also a brother, Prahlad, called Alad. Pleasure, Prahlad, Aladini. The same dhatu, the same root. Tapakuri. We're talking about us now. This Ladini energy, the soul is full of bliss, full of knowledge, full of eternity. Asango Yijam Purusha, the soul is always pure. But in contact with matter, it becomes a source of displeasure. Sometimes we have tiny amounts of pleasure, tiny amounts, tiny drops. Most of the time it's displeasure. Tapa Kori Mishra. It has been mixed with the modes. If you put, Vishwanath gives example of, in a pot, on a very low flame, you put dal, it's yellowish dal, and also some gems. Some gems look yellowish, just like topaz, some stones are yellowish. Topaz is the one, it's yellowish. And you mixed everything. To a layman, he will say, oh, it's all dal, or it's all gems. But it's actually mishra, it's mixed. So that's our problem. Because we have contacted matter, we have those three energies here. They're going to transform into the modes of nature. See? But in you, twayi no gunavajite, in you, my Lord, you are devoid of material qualities. So you cannot be mishra. You cannot find, the reaction will not turn into displeasure for you, my Lord, because you are devoid of the gunas. So a pure devotee is like that. There is no gunas in the first place. How do you want him to be in material goodness or in material passion or in material tamagun? No. There is guna varjite, no guna varjite, devoid of guna, in you, twayi. In the same way, any pure devotee, just back to, let's go back to Gauranga Darshan, see? It's very clear. This is actually Vishwanath here. Is it Vishwanath? No, actually, it's Jiva Goswami, sorry. See, Shuddha Sattva, filled with spiritual bliss, eternal, without change, devoid of material passion, pure gold, millions, shining like millions of sun. This is our real identity, filled with pastimes, devoid of lust, anger. See, everyone, even the dance serves the Lord, the devotees serve the Lord, the chair, the sofa, they have sofa in the spiritual world. They serve, everything serves Krishna. What do they do all day? They sing, they pluck flowers, everyone is beautiful, you know. That's the essence of the Vedas. This is the quote of Vishwanath. Oh, sorry, this is Jiva Goswami. Yeah. See? So, Pada-vibhuti, tripad-vibhuti, we're in the prison house. We're not in the real world. Whatever we do is temporary. The power, the great politicians, the demigods even are temporary power. Only because the Lord is lending his energy through the Virat. Anyway, and you know all this philosophy, yeah, as much as I do. And of course, we learn in 18. What do we learn in 18? There was I gave you a homework for that. Well, we know versus we know, it's like mustard seed.
So I have a question on the text 18, Prabhu.
Yes, go ahead.
See, the jiva who are in the spiritual world, they don't go through the cycle of birth, death, disease, old age.
Yeah.
So suppose, because in the spiritual world there are different planets, Vaikuntha, Loka, and we know there is also Golok Vrindavan. So does this jiva travel freely from one lok to another with the spiritual body?
Yeah, but it's a very good question. You cannot, once you are back in your Swarup CD,
Yeah.
you cannot, you don't even want to. You don't even want to go to other realms because you're totally fulfilled with your Ishtadev.
But is it not those who are in Vaikuntha, even then they desire from there to progress and go to Golok Vrindavan?
Yes, that's a very good question. Have you read the book Brihad Bhagavatamrita?
Not yet.
So this is beautiful. This is exactly answering your questions. Gop Kumar, he is in Vekunt. Can you imagine? Vekunt means no anxiety. And sometimes Narad goes there and he can see this Jeev. He looks a bit morose. How can you be morose in Vekunt? It's unheard of. And they meet in private. And this Gop Kumar, who is the hero of that book, Brihad Bhagavatam reads, he explains to me, I'm not so happy. This is not what I expect from my Lord. Why? Because previously, long back, this Gop Kumar was in Vrindavan and he tasted the nectar of associating with Krishna. Then he had a fall down. It's a long story. And Narad is telling Narad, please help me. That's not my cup of tea. There's too much Aishwarya Bhav, too much respect, too much reverence, admiration. It obstructs my bhav. So Narad, you could have thought, well, it's closer. Vaikunth is closer to Golok than here, isn't it? So, in our mundane mind, we are thinking, if you are in Toronto, you are closer to Vancouver than if I am in Paris, right? But that's not the logic in the material world. What is the answer of Naran?
Don't know.
Nara told him, yes, I understand your predicament. You go back to Boma, you go back to Bhumi, the planet Earth, Bharatvarsh, and then you go back to Vrindavan on the planet Earth, my dear friend. You cannot access Golok, whether it's Navadvip or Vrindavan, outside of Vrindavan. No way. So if you are in Vaikunth, you better be satisfied there. Otherwise, if you want to go any further, you have to go back down on this planet. Then practice devotional service, which is called Raganug Bhav Prem. And then you can be promoted through this Vrindavan. And then you will be going to Bomalila, then to Golok.
So you want to say jivas who are in higher planetary system in the spiritual world, if they want to move to higher planets, ultimately, which is Guru Vrindavan, even they cannot go directly by performing devotional service wherever they are in whatever spiritual planet they are. You want to say that they have to come back to this material world?
What is this? Every Kartik, which song do we sing? Namami Jvaram Sachit Nandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. One of the stanzas pertaining to this 8, Namami Jvaram, this is the first one. There is one stanza as written by Satyavrata Muni. Damodar is telling, I'm afraid, speaking to us, the reader, I'm afraid that you won't be able to enter Golok. Very simple. I'm afraid you won't be able to enter Golok. As long as you entertain Eshvayabhav, Eshvayabhav means you are somewhat bedazzled by this opulence of the Lord. Eshvayabhav, respect, admiration, reverence, veneration. Even, I don't know if you know that, if you go, let's say you go to Golok, but you still have some tinge of Eshvayabhav, what's going to happen? Let's say you have a great deal of Braja Bhav, yes, but a little tinge still of Eshvayabhav, you're going to be on the outer world of the lotus. Can you imagine? Even you have pierced through, you are beyond, you are still in Vaikunth, but in the upper portion, in Golok, you enter Golok. But Golok is the biggest planet of the spiritual. It's huge. And what happens if there are still some tinges of Aishvarya? What's going to happen? You have seen the world of a lotus. It's quite vast. You're going to be staying on the brim of the world of the lotus. Oh, I love it here. It's Vrindavan, but it's a different Vrindavan. Be careful, it's very tricky. And then you're going to be staying in that different Vrindavan, which is more Aishvarya Vrindavan. It's where is it located? On the brim of the world of the lotus in Golok. Only those, this is the point of Damodar in Namami Jvaram, only those who are totally imbued with pure love of God, depossessed, devoid of Aishvarya, respect, adoration, reverence, even fear. The sun, the moon, they are moving on their orbit out of fear. There's a little love, yes, but mostly fear. They know we are subservient. We better do our stuff well and good. We are being washed by the Krishna, by the Vishnu. They know there's fear there. They are demigods. They cannot access Golok. As long as you have all this, always watching me, and you cannot enter. You can go to Vaikuntha if you are totally steeped in your sadhana towards Lord Narayan, totally steeped purely out of love, but still tinged with, you can go to Vaikuntha. And even better, as I told you, you can go to the outer rim of the well of the lotus in Vrindavan. Does it answer?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so I lost this Karma Sandarbha. Let me put it back. Yeah, so let's move on. Let's read
19.
19, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Padeshu Savabhutani Pumsastiti Padoviduhu Amritam Kshemam Abhayam Trimurno Dayi Murdasu.
Okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be known as the supreme reservoir of all material opulence by the 1/4 of his energy in which all the living entities exist. Deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom from the anxieties of the old age and disease exist in the kingdom of God, which is beyond the 3 higher planetary systems and beyond the material coverings. So here, on 19. Okay, in here, like Prabhupada is talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's got like 1/4 of his energy that he uses for our planet, right? Like and then he's talking about the Sandhini, Sandvik, and Hladini potencies, like energies,
Yeah.
and what else? Okay, Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be recognized by the prime source of the material opulence. And its energy is living, like his energy in which his living entitles exist. The kingdom of God, and these 3 higher planetary systems, and the material coverings offering deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom of old age and disease. Okay. And the only bliss and knowledge exist in the spiritual sky, right? And then he was talking about the 3/4 of his energy, right? Like the spiritual world is displaying the 3/4, the 3/4 of his energy. The material world only is a fraction of the consciousness, like is experienced here. And
And there was some homework on this first paragraph. I wrote
yeah,
down.
here was
So
yeah, you said explain like what is
the first paragraph, it's
explain
very
the first
interesting.
paragraph.
I kind of covered that verse just now, Vishnu Puran. Twayi naguna vajite. So we know the Lord's energy is divided in 3. When we say Svarup Shakti, this is the Svarup of the Lord within, which is comprised of Sachidanand Vigraha, or we say also Sandini Sambit Ladini. So, see, look at the first sentence. Oh, let me put my cable, otherwise I'm going to lose everything. Let me find this is the, okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, so did you notice in that first paragraph, it's very interesting. We should not forget one of the total manifestations of the Sandini energy of the Lord, one force is displayed in the material world. So, in other words, this material energy, if you go back up to the origin of this material energy, we say in the Gita, Devi Yesha Gunamayi, Mama Maraduyachaya, is divine. Why Krishna says it's divine? For us, it's not divine. We say it's hellish. I'm sorry, Krishna, it's hellish. Why do you say it's divine? Devi Yesha Gunamayi, 7:14. So why Krishna says it's divine? Because, look, out of the total manifestations of the Sandhini energy, this energy is divine, it's coming from Krishna. Savasamshaye, Krishna is it possesses all the energy. How can it be not divine? It's coming from originally, it's coming from the Sandhini energy. One force, that is us, Ekapad, is displayed in the material world, and three force, tripad, is displayed in the spiritual world. So we cannot separate the material world from the spiritual world. It's a matter of consciousness. If you are always Krishna conscious, then you are in the Sandhini energy. If you are a Binadrik, a separatist, then you're not in this, even though the material world is coming originally from the Sandhini energy, but you in your mind, in your consciousness, you are not. You are Tapakori Mishra, that Sandhini energy to contact with the modes in your consciousness is going to transform into Maya Shakti. But originally, this energy of the material world is Sandhini. For a pure devotee, it remains Sandhini. For us, as soon as you try to enjoy, this energy becomes transformed into Maya. Just like you have pure milk, pure doot, but if you want to convert the milk, you put a little tamarind, you put a little citrus, lemon, then it transforms. And the verse is there, 13:22. Purusha prakriti stohi bhungti prakriti jangunan kalanam guna sangosya sadasadyoni janmasu. As soon as you entertain this Purusha Abhiman, yes, I'm Purush. Even though you are Prakriti. No, I want to be Purush. Purusha Abhiman. Then Purusha Prakriti, Bhungte Prakriti Jangunan. Then you contact the modes. And as soon as you contact the modes, story is over. It has transformed. The dude has become transformed due to lemon agent, citric agent. Then Sadasat Yoni Janmasu. Then you take birth in Sat Asat Yoni, in wombs which are good and wombs which are bad. But originally, it's coming from Sandhini. That is why Krishna says, this is divine, Devi Yeshagun. You follow?
Yes, and yeah, and we are also empowered by that energy.
Yeah. And if you want to be in Maya, you're going to be empowered by Maya. Very simple. Look at Bill Gates, look at all these great guys. What is the Elon Musk? The guy's got 130, 40 billion dollars. Don't you think a little bit empowered by Maya? Thinking I'm running the show. He's having stuff going to on other planets. It's so big. Practically as big as NASA. He's empowered according to his karma and according to his propensity to enjoy. He's got some sukriti, no doubt. Jame Jvaya Shruta Shibir, when Kunti says, if you have a Janma Jvaya Shruta Shibir, means you have good karma, you cannot deny. Karma Unmukhi Sukriti, but does he know that there is, just like we are discussing now, there's the breakdown of the material creation? He doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we are told, it's the same story, Trilok or Tripad, all these universes, all these, the components within the material energy, Svarga, those three worlds, Martya. Martya means the middle portion of the universe. Mrityulok, sometimes our planet is called Mrityulok, the planet of death. The, the planet Earth, that's the beauty of the planet Earth. It's like a train station. Yeah, see what's happening in the train station? Did you notice? People are coming. Why do they gather? Why do they cluster all of them in the train station? Did you ask yourself? Because they want to go somewhere. So the planet Earth is like that. People are coming back up. They were in Patala. Patala means
Hell.
not hell. It
One of the
means lower
planet.
planets. You know. So they have been cursed. They have been, due to their path, they have been judged in Yamlok. Then, okay, my dear boy, you have to go down to Patala or Atal or Mahatal, whatever. There's quite a few. And that's your, sorry, you're done doing some heavy stuff. You live there for some time. Then what happened is Krishna says 923, 921, Shini Punya Machalokam Mishanti. Once you have used up, once you have used up, once you have, I would say, paid the price of your sojourn in lower planets, then you go back to Mrityulok, this planet Earth. So you go back to the train station. And conversely, those who are in Svagalok, you don't stay there forever. Once you have used up the merits of your past activities, where do you go? To the train station. So that's why you find a mixture. That is why it's hellish in this planet. Why? Because you find chropathies, they're very steeped in goodness, material goodness, and they have a lot of sukriti, a lot of sukriti. They're coming from Svagalok. They have a little bit of remnants of sukriti that enables them to get a human form of life. And along with that, you find other fellows in the same train station. They're coming from lower regions. They were punished. Now they're back to the train station. What are they going to do in the train station? Which train they're going to get on? So according to your sukriti, according to your level of consciousness, you're going to embark a particular train. You're going to embark a sinful train, and you're going to associate in the train with sinful fellows. Again, you're paving your way towards again another sojourn in lower planets because due to association. Now you have some sukriti, good goodness. Then you're going to take a train with like-minded people. Oh, where are you guys going? Oh, yes, I'm going there. So let's chat. And you have seen in India, it's long journey, train journey, 20 hours. That you start chatting and you associate, you make friends. In the same way, in life, you associate with people that's going to determine where you're going. And where you go, you want to go, you're going to find the like-minded fellows. Krishna will make the arrangement via the nature, material nature. But let's say you are in a train station, Mrityulok, and before embarking on the train, you read, you have some time before your train, and oh, let me read something while I'm waiting in the lounge. You read Gita, you read Bhagavatam, and then you change your mind. I'm not going to get that. I'm going to change my mind. I want to get out. So then you change your mind. This is what is happening to us. We're changing our mind. We want to go outside the train station. We want to go outside even the city of that train station. And we want to go back to Golok, you know. So this is the idea, of the job we have ahead of us. And of course, there's plenty of destination within the material realm, within the spiritual realm. See, but there's some 3 words in this 19th purport. Fearlessness. Where's my book? Fearlessness. Did you notice those 3 words of 19?
Yeah.
Fearlessness, deathlessness,
Okay, fearlessness and freedom from anxiety.
Freedom
So-
from old age and disease.
Offering
exactly. So that's where we want to
deathlessness,
go.
fearlessness.
Even it's mentioned here, the upper 3 planetary systems, Satvik, you know, you go to Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, they're totally in the mode of goodness. They're living 200, 300, 500 million years. What do they do all day? They are steeped in dhyan and samadhi. They can see the Lord in the heart. Janavashtito, they can see the Lord in the heart. They are not suffering. They're totally steeped in wisdom. But do they engage in Sankirtan movement? No, not necessarily. And at the end of the Kalpa, at the end of the day of Brahma, they will go back. See? They will have to transfer themselves to higher planets. We have discussed that. Remember when the Krama, we discussed way back, the Krama, what do you call it? The Krami.
They go for spiritual tourism.
Yeah, exactly. What is the term? Krama? I forgot the term.
Mukta.
Krama Mukta, excellent. Thank you so much. So this is great to know. They are Satvika planets, definitely. Much higher than the planet Earth. But at the end of the day, Adayi Mu Dasu, it says in 19. Adayi Mu Dasu. We want to break free. We want to go beyond the material coverings. It's not a joke. We are shooting for the rhino. We are shooting for the rhino. We're going to be tested when we leave the body. We're going to be going through different layers of material creation where you find devotees. They will tell you, stop here, let's carry on serving Vishnu, perhaps not Krishna, they will tell you Vishnu. You may be alone. Oh yes, thank you, Prabhu. You stop there. So that's why we have to be quite steeped in a volition or will to, no, Mahaprabhu for me it's Krishna, for me, we have to be quite determined. Otherwise, on the way, we will stop. We won't stop in some Maya place, of course, but we will stop in other realms. The layers, within the layers around the universe, you find places of worship also, So this is the test. Okay, so let's carry on. I think you guys do this one because I have to go and pass water. It won't take long, but you can do, read 20 and
Murshikar can read now.
read and explain a little bit. I'll be right back. You do like 20 together. I'm coming.
20, yeah. You wanna read Murshikar, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. So verse 20, Padastrayo Bahishchashan Apragyanam ya ashrama Antastri Lokashtavaparo Griha Medo Brihadvrataha. So the translation, the spiritual world, which consists of 3/4 of the Lord's energy, is situated beyond this material world, and it is especially meant for those who will never be reborn. Others who are attached to family life and do not strictly follow celibacy vows must live within the three material worlds. Murshikar Prabhu, are you there?
Oh, let's read these paragraphs, right? Because I haven't read it.
So you read Mataji, I'm hearing you.
Okay, the climax of the system of Varna Dharma and Sanatan Dharma is clearly expressed here in the particular verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. The highest benefit that can be awarded to a human being is to train him to be detached from sex life, particularly because it is only due to sex indulgence as the conditioned life of material existence continues birth after birth. Human civilization in which there is no control of sex life is the fourth class civilization because in such an atmosphere there is no liberation of the soul encaged in the material body. Birth, death, old age, and disease are related to the material body, and they have nothing to do with the spirit soul. But as long as the bodily attachment for sensual enjoyment is encouraged, the individual's spirit soul is forced to continue the repetition of birth and death on account of material body, which is compared to garments subjected to the law of deterioration. So here mostly they're talking, Prabhupada is talking about the Varna Sharma Dharma uh, and um, and the sex life. Sex is the only thing that is probably the worst for us. Like I know for the material world, probably that is the best, but then for the spiritual world, it is the worst. If we indulge into these kind of things, we'll never be freed. So like I think as long as we are concerned, we have to be very careful about these things. Otherwise, we'll be born again and we'll have the birth, death, old age, and disease every time we have to come to the material world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the particular ingredient in 20 that makes one to remain in the three worlds?
Sex life.
See, Griya Meda. We discussed that term just now, Griya Medi.
Mm-hmm.
If you're attached to family life, all these things, without strictly abrihat vrataha. If you are, let's say, you're a good grihastha and strictly following the vow of celibacy once a month and all these things, then you're okay. Otherwise, if you indulge unrestrictedly, then okay, you are pious, you are a devotee even, but you cannot go back. You may linger definitely on higher planets, but you cannot go back to Golok. That's not. Jabhataka Maharaj explains something interesting. I was listening the other day. I don't know if I told you. There's one devotee is asking him, "Oh, we should be, of course, faithful to our wives, and we know the Shastra. Krishna says in the Gita 7:8, Kamusmi Dharma Viruddha Bharata Shabha. We should not tread the path of adharma viruddha. We should not do things which are against the religious principles. So, kamusmi, Krishna says, I'm calm, I'm sex life. Personally, I'm sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles. So then one devotee is asking Shaipatika Maharaj, recently, and he goes, what if we are not fully strict, with one's wife? And we indulge more than we should, because it says adharma viruddha. It should not be against adharma. So then I really like the answer. I was a bit nonplussed. Jayapataka Maharaj, he said, this is not sinful because it is your wife. You're duly married. But it's not pure devotional service. Very interesting answer. Do you want to comment? Anyone? See, we could say, if you are a little neophyte, you could say, this is sinful. No, Jayapataka Maharaj didn't say that. He says it's not sinful, but it's not pure devotional service. So then what is the outcome of that? If it is not pure devotional service, then you cannot go back to Krishna, which is exactly the verse 20. You are practicing, but of course you may say, well, okay, Prabhu, but with age I will line up, which is true. And you may be like this at 35, 40, 45, whichever age actually. But you have to make sure before you die that you come to pure devotional service. What is the definition of pure devotional service? According to Rupa Goswami, Bhakti
Yeah, Anya Bilasita Sunyam.
Yes.
Is that the verse? Anya, without Anya Bilasita Sunyam Jnana. Like one should be free from any self-motivated desire, free from Anya Bilasita Sunyam Jnana, devoid of all kinds of Gyan. Yeah, I'm losing it, Prabhu.
Oh, that's good.
Jnana.
Definitely.
As Krishna desires, serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires.
Exactly.
But you see, what I understand also, that the purification in a grihastha ashram should occur organically.
Yeah.
It's, you cannot restrict artificially and try to act like a sannyasi, like a, and then later you see there's so many fall downs.
Exactly.
So
And
that
I agree with that. That's the bottom line in ISKCON. Oh, I'm not doing good in my grihastha ashram. Let me move on to the next ashram. What is the danger with that?
Well, even if you try to move on, you're gonna act as a pretender because your desires are not fulfilled healthily.
Yeah.
And then you will see, even if you move to Vanaprastha ashram or Sannyas ashram, there's so many fall downs.
Yeah.
So
Because exactly, it hasn't been addressed within the corresponding ashram.
exactly, it hasn't been addressed healthily.
Yeah. That is why in Bhakti Lokya, Bhakti Thakur, it says you have to stick to the prescribed duties of your particular ashram. Once you have your consciousness have come to the stage that you don't need any more those prescribed duties pertaining to your ashram, then you can move on. Because now it becomes redundant, Let's say you have the consciousness of a vanaprast. You are totally, due to your eagerness and your association, your children are big, then the men start to associate, and then it's totally fully digested. I've done my prescribed duties as a Grihastha, and the wife is also in tune with that. She understands, yes, is ready for something else, I can see. So then she's going to give the blessing. Yes, you're right. And I'm fulfilled also because you are fulfilled, I'm fulfilled. So let's travel a few years together, perhaps wearing white, traveling places, She still assists him, but of course no sex. And then gradually the man, Prabhupada says, is quite keen on repeating himself, Srila Prabhupada. Gradually that man will say, I think I want to really break away. And of course, the wife, she's already quite advanced by now. She will say, yeah, no problem. But if you miss,
Prabhu, I got a question here.
yes,
So like okay, the men will say, okay, I'm pleased, I want to break up, right? What if the lady is not that much of like mentally prepared? Like, do you think in life it happens like one person is not really prepared and one will say, okay, I'm gonna take a vanaprastha, whatever, like the man wants to go away, right? So it will take a lot of time for this lady to be what she is, right?
Yeah, so that's the duty of the man. He has to also prepare his wife.
Okay.
You know, he has to prepare his wife over the years and even remind her, look, we are getting on in age. And they can kind of foresee the children at that age. They can foresee, they can project themselves in 10 years where we'll be at. That and the man should remind his wife, you know, I think we should gradually for the next years, 10 years, what do you think of that goal if we you know, we project ourselves in 10 years, my career will coming to an end, the boys and girls will be kind of flying their own airplanes, you know, don't you think we should gradually move towards that direction? It's
Yeah,
a
that's
it's a conversation they should have regularly, you know.
yeah. And then you know what? Probably they can live in the same town or whatever, like same apartments, but separately. See one another as Prabhu and Mataji, and then finally they'll have this bond break away, right? As husband and wife.
Yeah, yeah. And even to add up to that, there's no harm traveling. You know, you have a little retirement pension, and the wife also. The needs become less,
Yeah,
and it would be a good idea to start traveling together, holy places. You know, 6 months, 8 months a year, and then that's one way. Otherwise, another way is often seen also. The man will say, okay, there's enough money in the bank for you. You live with the big boy, or this is what I propose. I'm going to make you settle here. And if the wife agrees with that, then the man move on. He wears saffron and is vanaprast. And but of course, it has to be in mutual consultation. You know, there should be the wife should be agreeable to that. You cannot force it. Even in ISKCON now, unless the wife wants it, you cannot take sannyas. It's a new law.
Yeah, because you see, Prabhu, it's not just telling, preparing by telling. It's how you're living you see, everything is scientific.
Yeah,
Prabhupada said one should be trained as a brahmachari till the age of 25. And then, and then from 25 to 50, you're in the grihastha you marry, children grow up, you marry the children. And there is a whole science of how you live your grihastha
exactly.
that at the age of 50 you naturally organically kind of uh, done with sex life and done with intimacy, then in need of it becomes so natural, like you can see in old days that was so natural how the couple will live, and at this stage they don't feel the need of each other, but provided you live a healthy grihastashram,
Exactly.
not
yeah,
that the husband or the wife try to uh, not help each other or just
Exactly.
artificially try to live a son, because I know people even before they get married their mindset is about, oh, I'm going to take sannyas, and while they're living in the grihast ashram they're behaving like
Yeah.
renounce,
That's
and at the
I would say one of the main predicaments of ISKCON today.
yeah, and then you
That's
see when they are at the age of taking vanapras, now you see them having affairs or falling into illicit things. So
yeah.
I mean there's so
Actually, the
much
key
going on
person
in
who
this world,
knows
man.
is the wife. She can even tell the husband, "You're not ready. I can see. I'm sorry." Or else, conversely, you can tell him, "Yes, I can testify. I can attest that you are kind of ready and you're doing good." The wife can see. She cannot. The wife is
But you
the closest
see,
associate.
generally, my observation in ISKCON is sometimes the wife is quite detached, so she tend to act very advanced. The man is into Maya, so they don't treat
Yeah,
each other properly.
exactly.
Sometimes the man think, "Oh, I'm advancing. My wife is not advancing. She's attached." Instead of helping each other,
Yeah,
they try to belittle each other, mistreat each other, or neglect each other.
yeah.
And then there are so many cases in ISKCON
Oh,
because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
just using that person instead of helping. And once you know, once, as you mentioned, it should be consensual. It should be both ways. But
Exactly.
mo-
There's still a long way to go in this kind of training of the
most of the
DSR,
time,
marital counseling. Practically, marital counseling should be imposed upon young couples.
because I heard there was one instance that even in the presence of Srila Prabhupada, that uh, a wife approached Prabhupada, and Prabhupada came to know that the husband is visiting prostitute, and then Prabhupada asked the lady what's happening, and the lady said, "Oh, Prabhupada, he's into Maya." So he's into Maya. That means he needs sex. So Prabhupada questioned her, "Oh, so you couldn't satisfy your husband?" So, and the wife was thinking, "Oh, I don't need sex, so that means I am very advanced. I'm not into Maya." But Prabhupada didn't approve that. Prabhupada practically said, "So you couldn't help your husband? Instead of helping him, instead of satisfying him, he had to go to a prostitute." So, I mean, I'm sorry, but there is so many
Yeah, it's
things in
mismatch
one.
because we marry in on criteria which are not so Krishna conscious. Oh, she's a god sister, it should be okay, you know. She's a god sister. We have the same guru, that should be okay. So no, this is naivety. You're being naive. You have to ascertain, and I would say, you know, astrology, even living a little bit together. I'm sorry to say, but that's important before marriage. Affinity, guna
But
karma. Do we have the same goal?
yeah, but I agree with Mataji. Not the husband should say if he's ready. The husband shouldn't be just using the wife as a mean to get
Exactly.
that. The
And the bottom line, Tamal Krishna Maharaj made the point very clear to Vishwambar, his disciple. I told you the story or not, I forgot.
don't think so.
Vishwambar is the first disciple of Tamal Krishna Maharaj in Europe. I used to be friend with him. I lost him now. I think he must be in UK. He's an Italian devotee. He told me Tamal Krishna Maharaj arranged his marriage way back. And he arranged, they found a wife, everything was okay. And then very shortly after the marriage, he told him, "Okay, so how's everything? And do you love your wife?" "Yes, it's fine, Maharaj. Yeah, it's okay." Then again, "Do you love your wife?" "Yeah, we get along fine." "Yeah, everything is, it's new, but it's going well." "Do you really love your wife?" Let me drink something.
You drink some water, Prabhu.
Then on and on is is hammering him with the same point. "Do you love your wife?" "Yeah, it's fine." Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj becomes angry. He shouts at him. He says, "If you don't love your wife sufficiently, one day there will be upheavals. It's bound to happen in the material world, in the couple. And if you don't love your wife, you will leave her." And then Vishwanath Prabhu told me this. Yes, that hit me badly. Yeah, I understood. You got to love your one. Otherwise, you're not going to stick around with her too long. And conversely, if you're just married to please the guru or to please that one, and it's just a timid attraction, then that may break apart.
It should be both ways because sometimes even couple in Krishna consciousness they enter Grihastha ashram and they see Grihastha ashram as Maya. They don't
Yeah, we
for
were told.
that,
I mean, I'm coming from that generation. We were told like this.
that's there's no proper care, proper emotional care, mental care. It's sometimes it's both ways. They trash each other. Oh, you're in Maya, he's in Maya. And you see, I mean, I know lots of Prabhupada disciple went through all that, and you see trying to act so serious, so not in Maya, and at the end they end up divorcing, associating with prostitute, or wife is not stable. There's a lot going on in this movement.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I think there's a lot of things going on. Even on some on YouTube, I heard that even some of these ladies and men that become Vanapastra, like they leave after 50 and they go to Vrindavan or something. Even there, they have sex life like prostitution, because that doesn't mean when you go to Vrindavan, everybody's saint. They still have the Maya sometimes. Like, I don't know where on YouTube I heard it.
Yeah, there's all kind
That,
of deviations. Even my guru, I remember, he used to say, "This is old school." And he used to say, "Well, bad marriage, bad luck, but at least it's good for you because you're getting detached." So that was the philosophy in those days. Well, it's in one sense it's good because they will say, "Well, it's a tough marriage, then you're
Being
going to be detached very soon,"
devotees.
but it doesn't work necessarily like that. It doesn't work necessarily like that because there was a lack of training, even amongst the gurus. The sannyasi should not marry the disciples. He himself doesn't know anything about Grihastha.
Yeah, but you see, I would say even at this stage, if someone is taking Vanapras and even going to Vrindavan, and even there in Dham, they cannot control. So I think truthfulness is to be true where you are, and from
Yeah,
even there,
that's what I just
you
said.
purify your consciousness. You don't
Exactly.
you don't pretend, and you don't go for prostitution in even in Dham.
Abba,
that's
I
true.
think she's kind of
But
right.
but
I
who's
remember
gonna
everything
say
about it.
who? Everybody wants to show, right? They want to be the best.
No, we
I
should
think
be true
much.
to ourselves. That's very
You
true.
should
Yeah.
instead of doing something in hidden, be truthful and accept where you are. Don't be a pretender and incognito you go. I think more Shaker is
Yeah, his phone is not good.
and
Yeah,
he's
we
asleep.
hardly hear him. Is he here or I don't know. I see his name, but looks like he's quite.
Yeah, no, he's having this tendency to fall asleep because he works whole day.
Oh, I see.
Last time, I think it happened to him again.
And it's 9, 10 o'clock now, Prabhu.
So we'll finish off on this quote from Vishwanath, uh, talking about the tripad-vibhuti. See, the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual realm is spread over three parts. One part is this world, ekapad. The three parts spiritual world is eternal. The part of one part is temporary. That is our part, ekapad. The eternal form of the Supreme Lord is situated in that glorious place. That form of the Lord is undecaying, eternal, full of pastimes, eternally young, eternally enjoying, and surrounded by Shri, Bhumi, and Ishvari. These are personal Shaktis of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we want to go, basically. And the beauty of it is you are still surrounded by the other party, you know, you are still in a couple, but you are so much steeped in devotional service that you don't have any see, and you could have, you are full of power, you know, but you are totally self-satisfied. Your wife, which is extremely beautiful, is also self-satisfied, but there's still this couple thing going on in Golok, in Vaikunt. See, Krishna never said to, how do you say, to decompose this couple notion which is pervading this world. Also in the spiritual world, you find couple. Even the God is a couple. So there's nothing wrong with that. But we should come to that level described here. Understand we are Shakti, we are Jivas, which Jiva Shakti. We are Shakti of the Lord, Jiva Shakti. So it's called Samasta Jiv, all the Jivas, the sum total of all the Jivas. Samasta means total. The sum total of the Jivas. This is Jiva Shakti. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho 7.5. So all the Jivas are meant to engage in the service of the Lord in a particular realm, Vaikunt, Ayodhya, Dwarka, Vrindavan, Mathura, whatever. And there's no harm to be with your wife. But as we grow, it will become totally pure, totally tuned up to the pleasure of Krishna or Narayan or Ram. Anyway, we'll stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Good night.
Prabhu, I would like to use your Zoom for tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's see the time. Tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is Friday.
I will need it at 7 to 9. So
AM or PM?
PM. So that is the time I don't think you will use.
Yeah. So tomorrow I may be teaching at 10 AM French time, which is for you it will be no, you will be sleeping at the time. 10 AM would be 1 o'clock in Vancouver the night before. So yes, go ahead. You're totally welcome. And we'll teach on Sunday at 6 PM my time.
Yeah.
Which will be for you 9 AM the night before. Is it? I mean, I'm a little confused now. 6 PM on Sunday, which is for you 9 AM.
Can we switch off and then get into Zoom again?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so should I do that? Okay. Stop share.